Today I'd like to review the Feelworld FW74K field monitor. Let's get into it. So here's the box that came in. I'm not going to do an unboxing because there's probably plenty of videos. I've had it for a while now. Just give it a quick open. I'll tell you what it does come with. I may be missing some things because I've had this for a while now and I've moved some things around, but it comes with the monitor itself, which I'll show you shortly. It comes with this thing here, so you can clamp the monitor. You can clamp the monitor to the top of your camera. So it's got a hot shoe mount on the bottom and a threaded mount for the monitor on top. Further into the box we have HDMI cable, which doesn't fit my camera because my camera uses the mini or micro HDMI. This is pretty cool. I haven't used it, but it is a little bracket to lock the HDMI cable in the monitor, so if it gets pulled it doesn't just rip out. Just an Allen key and a thread here. I'm guessing that's to mount the HDMI locker. And it comes with a package list and a user manual. So actually let me read the package list just so you know what's supposed to come with. So it comes with a monitor, battery plate. So this uses the F series batteries, the Sony MP F series batteries, which is awesome because I use that. I have two monitors, they both use the same battery, and the LED lights I'm using right now, but I use those batteries also, so it's really good. All I need to do is carry those batteries for the majority of my stuff, so that's great. It comes with a sunshade, I don't know if I mentioned that, HDMI cable, HDMI plug lock, which is the lock I spoke about just before, a hot shoe mount, and a manual. So as I said, this is the manual here. So that's pretty much all you get in the box. Let me give you a closer look at the monitor. Okay, so here's the monitor up close. Ignore the thing on the bottom, that's just my clamp. I use this on the Ronin gimbal, so I use that to clamp it onto the handlebar. That's the front of the monitor, so you have the lip here, which you can remove, but that's where the sunshade attaches to, which I'll show you shortly. On the sides, we have a USB upgrade plug, so I'm guessing that's for firmware updates and things like that. OSD controller port, headphones port, AV port, and the HDMI port. And on the bottom you also have DC 12 volt power, which is really good, so you can power this. On the back there's the battery. I'll remove the battery, I'll show you the plate. So that's the battery plate there. So as I said, Sony NPF series batteries go straight into this. On the other side there's nothing, and on the top there's nothing really as well. So that's about all. There's a speaker on the back there. That's really all, but on the front we've got a few buttons here. So you got the mode button, left button, right button, and let me just get this in focus up close. There we go. So menu button, what's that one? So I can't see. So down or F1, up or F2, F3, F4, and the power button there, and there's the logo Feelworld. So this is the Feelworld FW74K monitor. Okay, so here we are, just plugged into the camera and the HDMI cable on the monitor. Let's turn it on. Okay, so here it is on. So you can pretty much see everything that I'm seeing now. So there it is there, turned on. Hope you can see that properly. It looks really good in my opinion. The colors, I mean, you can change the color temperature and all those types of things, which is really good. Let's just go through a few of the functions. So the reason I bought this monitor is because it's 4K. So the resolution isn't 4K, but it supports a 4K output, and I'm pretty sure it outputs that to 1280 by 800 resolution. The old monitor I did have, you could view from the camera, so the camera was recording in 4K. You could view that on the other monitor in 1080, but it looked really bad. Everything was too big, a bit chopped off, and you could adjust that, but it just didn't really work. This one on the other hand, I love this monitor. It's really, really bright. One of my favorite features is actually the focus peaking, as you can see there. So the screen goes black and white. Yeah, the focus peaking is really good. So what happens is when you're in focus, it lights up, the edges get highlighted in red. So that's really good, and it puts the monitor in black and white because it is easy to see whether you're in focus in black and white when you are using the focus peaking. So all the things on my camera that I can see on my camera screen also come up here, so I can see my shutter speed, aperture, ISO, all those really important things, recording time, whether I am recording or not, and all those types of things. So all in all, I don't really want to go through all the functions. Let me just see if I can go through the menu. I mean, you can adjust color, temperature, saturation, sharpness, brightness. One thing I like about this monitor, it's very bright, which is good. So when it's really bright outside the monitor, you can still see the monitor quite well. So you can change the language, aspect ratio, center marker, so you can have an X or cross in the middle, so you know where the middle is, and you can set up some safe frames as well. So if you film things in widescreen, you can set up some safe frames so you know when you are framing not to let anything go over the edge of the frame. That's really it. I mean, most of the other functions you can see, you can find on the internet. I don't want to go through them all, I just want to give you my review on it. So if you come across it, you can find the review and you can watch it. So I bought this on eBay, I think it was around 200 and something Australian dollars. I will put the link in the description below. I think pretty sure it did come from China and it came here. It got here pretty quickly. So yeah, in my opinion, it's a great monitor. I really love it. The color on it isn't the greatest, but it's not what you need. As long as I know that I'm recording the correct exposure and things like that, which I do, because I always look at the back of the camera anyway, and I roughly know how this camera records the majority of the time. So as long as you know that, then all I use the monitor for is for framing and for focus, especially when I'm on the Ronin or something like that, where you need to be able to see something on a big screen and you can't see the camera monitor because it is mounted on a gimbal. So yeah, so all in all, I'm really happy with it. And as I said, by the color, I mean, you can see that there, it's a bit pale, but you can adjust all the colors and stuff like that. So chances are I could get this to look really good, but I just keep it almost as flat as possible. And the camera settings are almost on the flat as possible as well, just so I can color grade and color correct later with a lot more information. So I think that's really all on the monitor. Like I said, things that I love that it runs on the Sony NP-F series batteries, because a lot of other devices do also. I love the HDMI lock, just in case your cable gets pulled, at least your monitor doesn't get pulled out with it. I love the black and white focus assist, the safe frames. I love that it plays back and forth. It doesn't play back in 4K, but it can support the 4K feed into the monitor. I love that. Love the brightness. Let me just show you the sunshade really quickly, because I totally forgot to show you that. So that's the sunshade there, and it basically just clips onto the edges of the screen. So let me just do that and then I'll show you what that looks like. And that's it there. It's beautiful. So it blocks a lot of the light. It's really good. So yeah, that just about goes on and off. That's it. So yeah, again, I'm really happy with it. I do have another monitor, which is the Lilliput. I can't remember the exact model number, but I'll do a review on that also. That is the older monitor. Still a great monitor, but just I wasn't a big fan of the fact that it couldn't. It still displayed my 4K feed, but it wasn't at the best resolution. The focus peaking on it wasn't the best either. Also, the other one weighed a ton, whereas this one is very thin. So the actual monitor is only that thin, really. The rest is the battery and the little face, which you can remove, that the sunshade clips to. And I'm not sure how much it weighs, but it's not a lot. The other monitor was about that thick. It was a monster, and it weighed a lot, so it was really hard to carry, especially if you just mount it on top of the camera and you walk around. It's good to be as lightweight as possible, especially when you're using like the glide cam or something similar, where weight, you want as little weight as possible on top of your camera and other stuff. So yeah, again, I'm really happy with it. That's it there. I'll chuck a link in the description below where I did get it from on eBay. Yeah, thumbs up from me. I'm really happy with it so far. Hope that helped you. If it did, please subscribe. Please, any comments or any questions at all, let me know in the comments below. I'll answer them as best I can. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.